Ladies and gentlemen, good people, not so good people. And that is something I'll let you decide. I'm not going to try to call it for you. We back. This is a Tuesday edition. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. And this gives us a unique opportunity that we need every once in a while. And that's a chance to talk about previous week's Raw and this week's Raw, because next week's Raw we'll be talking about, because it's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, because they're going to be in Italy. So things worked out perfectly in line, perfectly for your boys. It's Cool McCain, one half for your Monopoly. Joined as always by the other half, the Playmaker. What's going on, Playmaker?
I hope y'all enjoyed your Memorial Day and your Memorial Weekend.
It was too short.
A lot of wrestling took place over the weekend. And we have more wrestling to talk about coming up. Just wrestling all over the place.
Good old wrestling. So we're going to go ahead and start off like we always do. We're going to slide in some NXT. What's going on the NXT side, Playmaker?
Can I be honest?
That's what we do around here.
I don't even want to talk about NXT.
What?
Not the fact NXT had a bad showing on there, but WWE has done a lot of different things. I don't even want to talk about NXT. I don't want NXT to fall victim.
Okay.
This week. They don't deserve to be a victim this week. NXT should be on a week where WWE is going in a good direction. I just leave it like that.
All right, that was different, but hey,
I will say this though.
It is what it is.
I will say this though.
We're gonna slide on in with some impact. Go ahead, sir.
It is funny that somebody got kicked out of Dark State.
I mean, you might as well go and talk about that at least real quick.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
They just
Since you already kind of brought it up, you might as well at least let them know about that.
Just like, you know, we seen it coming. We just didn't know which one it was. And it had to be the black man, huh? It had to be the weird black man.
We know it was one or two people, yeah. Well, it was gonna be the black man one either way.
I thought it was gonna be Deion Landis, to be honest. I ain't even gonna front.
Well, it was gonna be a black man either way, so you know. Just saying.
That's not how that works.
But yeah, you know. Correct.
But man,
very correct.
Saquon, I hope you're feeling good, buddy. You're out of a group. Might be out of a job too. I don't know if you can work as an individual. That'd be something to see.
Well, you know, he'll at least hang around long enough to try to be a quote unquote problem for Dark State. Maybe he'll team up with what you call it, the world champion. They'll team up. They'll have a team up. They'll say,
Tony,
get rid of Dark State. Yeah.
I don't need two shows to do the same freaking storyline. Okay, I got enough of that on Raw.
You have to look at the differences though, because in this particular one, there's the difference of one guy was actually in the group and got shunned, whereas that was not. Well, yeah, it was opposite. Yeah, there was one group that was in. So you know what's funny? Since you're part of the Raw group, I'm gonna go ahead and get this off my chest before I forget. Before we get into TNA, I just want to say it's funny how Montez Ford thing was. Oh, you screw over everybody that you're in a group with. When the last time he didn't screw anybody, he got screwed over. Mr. Rollins did. I just thought that was interesting. Because Seth got that work last time. He didn't give the work; he received the work. Yeah. But you know, just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So since we're not going to really talk about the NXT side of NXTNA, we'll slide over to do a little talking about Impact. So they were in Sacramento at the Memorial Auditorium. I like how they work the smaller ones and fill them up so it kind of looks pretty good versus trying to get the bigger ones and not, you know, and looking kind of iffy. So the system, of course, started the show. They came out, they got a whole lot of gold. Everyone has gold, but Eddie Edwards.
No TNA title for you.
He calls the system the most dominant force in TNA history. But I find it hard to be the most dominant if you don't have a TNA title. Just, you know, my thoughts and all that good stuff.
No TNA title for you.
So Cedric Alexander calls out Fabian Aichner, the former Giovanni Vinci. I keep forgetting this dude's name in WWE. They didn't really give him a lot to do anyway. He was just a third guy in Imperium. He was the Jimmy Uso of the Imperium, basically. Aichner basically comes out when he's called out and says he's going to take the X Division title. Aichner takes out the members of the system, gets into the ring. Alexander tries to give him a lumbar check. Aichner avoids it, puts him in a chokehold, and of course, the system comes to his aid. That's how it always goes. You got to start out as the strong guy before you get beat. He's not going to win if he's his first challenger. We already know that. Daria Ray is the bad authority figure. She was backstage with Steve Macklin. She wants him to take out Mike Santana. She says Macklin's worth carrying it. He's not. We got a match. Elena Black and Indy Hartwell. I gotta say that you can't lose in this match. Can't lose in this match. TNA has some very sumptuous knockouts. These are definitely two of them. Ariana Grace and Stax were at commentary. Ariana Grace and Stax attack Indy Hartwell, so she wins via disqualification. Grace blames her dad for her losing the Knockouts World title. Morella joins them in the ring. He says Lei Yingli did deserve the rematch. He's about to put Stax in the Cobra. Daria Ray comes out and says, "Oh, you're supposed to be an authority figure, and you're trying to pick a fight with talent and blah blah blah, all that crap." At the end of the day, Santino is going to be facing some Stax next week. So that'll be interesting to see. Elegance Brand is backstage. Lights go out. Rosemary Alley and Mara Sade, who are now doing a supernatural gimmick thing, leave a message for them. So that's happening. Now we're getting Matt Hardy, but not just regular Matt Hardy. We're getting broken Matt Hardy and Vincent one-on-one with Jeff Hardy and Dutch. handcuffed to the ring. Um, it's a pretty decent match. Matt Hardy. Let's be honest, Matt Hardy can't wrestle fantastic matches anymore, but it's a solid match, right? Like not to hate, but Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy are elders at this point, so they can't wrestle like they could when they were younger. Like nobody can. It's just a fact of our life. But pretty decent match. We get at the end of the match, we get Vincent. The referee gets knocked out. Vincent goes in his pocket to get the keys to unlock Dutch, and the lights go out. And guess who is there when the lights come back on? Not Brother Nero, but Willow. Willow and his umbrella help broken Matt Hardy to make Vincent obsolete. And they pick up, and then lights go back off. Jeff Hardy's gone. Matt Hardy hits the twist of fate and wins the match. So that, yeah, let's just. So we're going to end up having something between AJ Francis and Elijah. Elijah's playing backstage. AJ Francis wants to collaborate with him on music. Elijah prefers to drift alone. So they'll turn into a beef. That's how TNA does.
Are you saying
Moose is still out of action after being back? So what?
This is what I'm not good enough for you? Is this what this is?
That's probably what it's going to turn into. Moose is still out from being hurt by the system 2 weeks ago. Indy Hartwell was beat by her knee, and she has to get that checked out. Got some matches for next week. We got Eddie Edwards and Fabian Ochner. Of course, to tell you about Stax and Santino. Chaz the Star Boy makes his in TNA. I was about to say NXTNA. TNA debut. He challenges Mustafa Ali, of course. Or excuse me, it's Chaz Starboy Hall. I said Starboy Chaz. It's Chaz Starboy Hall. Of course. Let me know who wins this match. Ali wins because Starboy is new, but when you challenge for a championship and you're not as well known, you're not going to win the match. But he looked good and lost, which is apparently important. Keith Jardine has Mara Sade's back. It's a little segment we did. Eric Young talks to Steve Macklin before the match. Tells him choices have consequences. So if he wins, there's consequences. If he loses, there's consequences. We have Zaya Brookside and Jada Stone. Another singles match with the females. I like that more of the females are starting to get featured here on TNA. Zaya Brookside wins. We'll just leave that there. Santana, Steve Macklin ready to get it in. And then we have the main event. TNA World Championship match. The champion, Mike Santana, versus Steve Macklin. And we're going to go directly to win. Because, it was actually a really good match. These two guys have a lot of chemistry. But a lot of false finishes. And at the end of the match, we have Santana, of course, retaining his championship. in a hard fought victory.
Hmm.
So I mean, I can say it was a really good match. He get the rolling buck 50 the second time to get the win. It, TNA is putting on good programming. It has very close to very good storylines. But I would say where we're going after this commercial break. Actually, we don't even really know if
Yeah,
we go to this commercial break, do we?
before you do that, because I just remember something. I was doing you a disservice when it came to NXT. There
Okay.
is one thing that Kuma Kane must talk about. Remember, that's my boy. I got to look out for my boy. So if I'm doing him a disservice, I got to rectify that. There was one part of the show that I watched from NXT, and it had me thinking about you, sir.
It's probably a part I didn't
Backstage,
watch.
Layla Diggs and Jada Parker exchanging words.
Yeah, I didn't see that part. So you'll have to,
Really?
yeah. I'll go back and watch it now that you bring it up. I didn't see that part. It's been a crazy week.
Jada, she wants to get her hands on the tie, and the tie wasn't there. And Miss Diz is a mentee of Natalia. So, sir, tonight, you better have your popcorn, whatever you need ready, because these two ladies will be in the ring tonight.
Not my popcorn ready.
And enjoy the
The
lovely match,
festivities and
the
the cakes.
festivities of chocolate cakes
You know, I'm
tonight.
quite a fan of chocolate cakes.
So yeah. By the way, Layla Diggs is yeah, she's built very well, if I do say so myself.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I had to rectify that for you, man, because I'm like, wait a minute, that part did happen last week.
I appreciate that, sir. I definitely appreciate that. So let's do this. As we talk a lot about WWE, let's go ahead and slide over to AEW. Double or Nothing. Talk about some results from that, and then we'll move from there to commercial break. We come back and we'll cover all things in the W.
All things main roster in the WWE.
Well, we already covered them. Yeah, I mean, so you have to understand for the program, we've already decided that NXT and TNA are their own thing. So we're definitely not talking about them.
You got to make sure we might have new people watching.
We might have new people, but if they ain't if they ain't see the jump that I put up, I don't know what to tell you. That if they ain't read, I don't know what to tell them.
By the way, before you begin, I have seen people, and I'm not talking AEW fans. I'm not talking about those people. I have seen people that have said that this pay per view that you're about to go over, sir, is number one in 2026 right now.
Hey, I'm gonna say simply this before I even start. AEW is finding its legs on how they need to really do things to be what AEW needs to be. I'm gonna say that. I'm quite satisfied with the product. It's very long, but you know they do very long. But quite satisfied with the product. So the very first thing that happened AEW, Double or Nothing, was one Mrs. Foley's baby boy was introduced by Renee Paquette, And of course, Foley, without hyperbole, is one of the biggest nights of his life and sucking up to the crowd. That's what Mick Foley does. They're in New York. So that's that.
This makes even more of a reason he did it.
Yeah, but that I'm sure that paycheck did not hurt either. Because one Tonethius Khan goes deep in that pocket, and he be with it.
After coming out of hurricanes, according to my co-host.
Yes, after the hurricane, he comes out and he says, "You know what? Oh, I'm feeling refreshed. Let me go ahead and play Mick Foley. Yeah, I'm feeling refreshed. Yeah." I mean, that's what happens in my mind, at least. I can't speak for what actually happens, but that's what I believe that. So then we had, and I'm gonna go through these real super duper fast. We had the buy-in, the Divine Dominion, which is the Megas Bane, and Colossal Lena Cross, which is basically double cakes. And they were fighting Zeta Steel and Viva Van. Megan Bain hit a double choke slam, her and Cross, to get the victory with just a few seconds left on the clock because they only had 5 minutes. But they got it done, so they don't have to worry about that. So another buy-in trios match. We had the Death Riders, which consisted of Daniel Garcia, Claudio Castagnoli, and Willa Yuta, took on the Ops, Hook, Anthony Bowens, and Katsuyori Shibata. So the Death Riders, of course, won because their backs are supposedly being important since now they're training my boy Ospreay. But Castagnoli beat Bowens with a diving uppercut for the pinfall. All right, another buy-in. The conglomeration, which was Mark Briscoe and World Trios champions Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong, and Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall, Boom and Doom, with the Rizzler, Big Justice, Harley Cameron, and Vita Coco Man took on Shane Taylor Promotions, which was Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Carly Bravo, Sean Dean, and Anthony Ogogo with Christian Exo. So thankfully they have something for Anthony Ogogo to do because my man is very talented, but they just don't know how to use him. All right. After what I definitely would believe would be a cavalcade of entrances, you got the 10-man match going, right? So long story short, you go through the match, blase. And we get the, of course, we get the face group win. So Shane Taylor Promotions takes another L. I don't even know why they would stay with Shane Taylor Promotions because you never win with Shane Taylor Promotions. But in big situations,
you answer my question. I was going to ask that. Have they ever won anything? But you answered my question.
Not much of anything. So we got our first comment. We got Mr. McCarthy in the building.
Ryan!
Evening, fellas. Hope y'all having a good Tuesday. R.I.P. Bob Homer. We're having a decent Tuesday. MJF has a confrontation with Mick Foley, but Mick Foley, of course, Darby Allin, makes the save as they happen. So now we have our AEW World Tag Team Championship New York Street Fight I Quit match. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, Edge and Christian, finally get the monkey off their back, and they beat Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood with Stokely Hathaway for the tag team championships. And if they lost, they would have had to never tag again. So that stipulation let us know who was winning.
Stupid stipulation. So this could have gave them the belts.
Shout out to Edge and Christian. I'll call them Cope and Cage sometimes, but mostly Edge and Christian for finally getting that dub. Next, we had the AEW International Championship match. The Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, and the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. So, the understanding was this was supposed to get rid of whatever beef they had with each other, and then they'd be a family, and either way, the belt was going to stay within the Don Callis family. Takeshita got the win. But that wasn't the highlight. Kyle Fletcher came back. They were kind of, they came in and I'm trying to figure out how to say it quickly as possible. So the guys that were outside from the family came in. They all faced off with Takeshita, but then Kyle Fletcher made his return. Fletcher, of course, pretended to be there to side with Takeshita and then clotheslined him and beat him up. That's kind of what happens. And so now Takeshita is officially out of the Don Callis family. So my co-host will be giddy from that happening. And Don Callis laughed.
I would have until Kyle Fletcher came back, did what he did, which means the Don Callis family is still not going away no time soon.
They were never going to go away, sir. There's like half the roster. If your thought was Takeshita Lee was going to make them go away, then you were sadly mistaken the whole time.
No, I'm just saying overall, I'm just waiting for the whole entire family to disband.
It's going to be a while before that happens.
So
they can lose like 10 people. They can lose 10 people and still be 20 deep. So it's going to be a while.
So me getting giddy?
Well, I mean, you wanted to catch it out of there so bad. You begging for it. So, I mean, if you're begging for it.
No, because I seen it right on the wall.
I mean, we've seen that for months. All right. Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament quarterfinal. Athena beats Mina Shirakawa. I'm just going to go ahead and go through these because there's a lot of matches. Continental Championship match. Jon Moxley defeats Kyle O'Reilly. So he actually finally beat Kyle O'Reilly. That's something that he hadn't been able to do. So yay, Moxley. Men's tournament semifinals. Ospreay and Samoa Joe. Ospreay defeats Samoa Joe, which kind of makes sense. All right, another Owen Hart's men's quarterfinal. Swerve Strickland, of course, beat Ring of Honor champion Bandito. So, big pressure. Still going on. The world's most dangerous man. Women's World Championship, they had a four-way match. Thekla, the Toxic Spider, outlasted Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and Chris Statlander. I've said for a while that I don't really buy her as a champion and a couple other things. But I have to admit, she's fitting into the role pretty good. So kudos to you, Thekla. Yeah, hey, I guess I'm finally buying it a little bit. So then we had the Stadium Stampede match. This was billed as the biggest Stadium Stampede match in history because it was. So on one side, you had Chris Jericho, Y2J. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, Jungle Jack Perry, and Kenny Omega. That's a lot of people. On the other side, you have The Demand, which is Ricochet, Toa Leona and Bishop Khan, the Dogs, Clark Connors and David Finlay, and members of the Don Callis family, Andrade El Idolo, and AEW National Champion Mark Davis. And, of course, the good guys won because that's what happens. Now, what I love most about this match is they find a way to do it without it being a bloody, gory match because you can't do that in New York. So they were able to work around that restriction and still make it a really good match. And then Jericho did a table and pointed up to the sky, drove through the table, and dove through it as a tribute to Sabu. So a little tribute to Sabu and everything, too. So Damien is here. Hello, Damien.
Scoring for the good guys.
And where Damien comes, we know a couple of things are going to be said. So here we get, where the heck did they get a bus and a big tennis racket? So you might not have been watching before. They come up with all kind of crazy stuff in those matches. All right, AEW World Championship title versus MJF's hair. I mean, we talked about this. MJF was going to win, and he did win. Allen looked really great. He's probably the best wrestler of the whole show. And they've been building the story of how much he's defending the belts and how he's getting beat down. So they let everybody know, hey, he's gonna lose.
Nothing against you, Darby Allin. We didn't want to see him. We didn't want to see MJF fall.
We got a Jey Uso run for Darby Allin. And just like Jey Uso's run didn't last long.
It didn't last long, but we didn't want to see MJF fall. That would not be a good thing.
So after the match, MJF was beating on Darby Allin. And then MJF went and posed over Allen with the championship. Kevin Knight came out to run him off. He escaped up the ramp. Knight then stared at MJF while on the ropes, and then dove off the top rope with the UFO splash on the Darby Allin on the stretcher. Then flipped the stretcher with Darby Allin on it. Then he stared down at Allin while MJF clapped from the top of the ramp. So we come out of this with a heel champion and then a big heel turn from another champion. All I can really say is kudos. I think this was one of the best put together pay-per-views, PLEs, yada yada, that I've seen AEW put on, and it might be the best of the year. And let's be honest, saying it's the best of 2026 so far, that's not glowing reviews, right? That's not glowing reviews. But somebody's got to be the best, and that's not the AEW show. It's just to knock all the PLEs and pay-per-views that we've seen. They've all been bad. So now I could go ahead and throw Damien's earlier comment up. Darn you, MJF. MJF did what MJF was supposed to do. I have a feeling that we're going to find that MJF and Kevin Knight are going to be associated. And who else is going to join them will be interesting to see. But I have a feeling that's where we're going. But we'll see if I'm right. I like the fact that we got this big loss for Darby and then the big turn all at once. Like, that's professional wrestling. Damien also says I was waiting for Steen to show up and help Darby. They didn't want to pay Steen for this event. Damien. Darby was on his own. They only pay Steen when Darby wins, not when he's going to lose. Oh, boy. All right, good people. We are going to take a quick commercial break. After I asked my co-host if there's any thoughts that he has on
no. AEW put on a good show. You have more praises than criticisms, which is always a good thing. Criticism is going to happen. It is what it is. There's people that like to complain and criticize things. Okay. Good show.
People just not happy with themselves.
That too. But good show.
Yeah.
Did a good job. People are pleased in the direction the AEW is going. Tony Khan, no matter how many hurricanes you've been doing, the hurricanes are working a bit more than normal, which is a good thing. So we're off to what pay-per-views usually after Double or Nothing.
Not sure because they did switch them up some.
Oh, I see that part I didn't know. Well, we're off to the next journey.
Well, the first thing we got off to is what's going to happen with the Jet Kevin Knight and his tag team partner in Jet Speed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Damien asked a question that is all based on hearsay as of this point, them actually coming back. It says, what's y'all's thoughts on Enzo and Big Cass coming back to WWE, also Baron Corbin? So we don't have any confirmation that either of those three are actually coming back. What we do know is that Enzo and Big Cass were at the Performance Center. That could have been to see somebody just to get a workout in, right? Several different reasons that could have been. Not necessarily that they're going to be back, but not necessarily that they're not. And as far as Baron Corbin, that's complete rumor and hearsay. There's been no confirmation of him even being around WWE.
If I'm Baron Corbin, do we want to come back at this moment in time?
So apparently Baron Corbin is supposed to be, according to rumors, the Frankenstein that Danhausen is making. Supposed to be Baron Corbin.
Oh God!
According to rumors, this is just, and I mean these. I take these rumors with a grain of salt because you hear all kinds of stuff, man.
Even though
you hear all kinds of stuff, man. So
right now, Danhausen is on his New York tour. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, you get my drift.
Yeah, so that's that. And my thing is, man, we've got to have you actually show before I'm gonna give my thoughts, because right now it's just speculation. So that's my take. Too many rumors out there. But with that being said, break time. Go get your drinks. You gotta go to the restroom. Be back and ready to talk a whole lot of WWE.
Whether it's the men's college game,
the way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
The women's college game,
and how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
The WNBA,
AJ Wilson, Brianna Stewart 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
All right. Do I want to do more commercials? I was debating that. I guess we can. Let's go.
Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kyren Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
All right, so we at that point, y'all. It's all about the dub.
World
Main roster,
Wrestling Entertainment is the place that we're go, and we're going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, for Saturday night's main event. Sir, give me the good from Saturday night's main event. Give me the bad from Saturday night's main event. And give me the tangent for Saturday night's main event. So instead of the good, the bad, the ugly, it's the good, the bad, the tangent.
Because I know Saturday night's main event.
I don't know, about a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but I done watched Raw again, and you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me give you the quick results then.
Okay.
The baddies defeated Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch got disqualified in her match with Sol Ruka. Penta retains the Intercontinental over Ethan Page. And Page and Brie Bella retain the tag team championship against the Invisible Voices. And finally, the Vision retained the tag team titles over the Street Profits, but they did take a loss somewhere else, though, in the form of Logan Paul. And yes, Logan Paul will be out for a considerable amount of time because he has a torn tricep.
So the good to me was Jay Cargill and the baddies beating Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. And I'll explain why I say that. The reason why I think that's the good is because we're trying to rebuild Jade. We're trying to bring up B-Fab and Meechin, right? Because obviously they're going to turn on Jade at some point. It's always happens with Jade. Jade always gets turned on. So they're going to turn on her. But until they do, this is an opportunity for them to rebuild themselves, because there's a point where Meechin and B-Fab weren't even on TV. So this is an opportunity to bring two new people that have been around. B-Fab, I think, has gotten a lot better as a wrestler than she was coming in. Very gorgeous young lady. Honestly, everybody in that match was nice eye candy. Not everybody had cakes, but most have cakes. There's one cakeless person from each team, but they were trying. They had little mini cupcakes. They at least had a little something. But I just like the tone of the match. I like the whole Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair dynamic and how they still don't really trust each other, and it keeps costing them. But they still don't see it. That's probably going to end up leading to a championship match at some point, and Charlotte Flair will probably win because that's Charlotte Flair. The bad. Who said the good, the bad, and what was the last one?
Tangent.
The tangent. Okay. So the bad was well, two things, but one is based on the outcome injury, so I ain't gonna get into that yet. We'll talk about I can go ahead and talk about it. So there's two bads. One bad is the Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka, the match, the ending, the fact that people don't understand that she didn't put the full move on because it was the referee and she kind of pulled back to make sure she didn't really hurt the referee. The Soul Snatchers, like, people don't understand it, like, oh, she botched it. No, she saw it was the referee, so she wanted to make sure she didn't hit the referee like she would Becky Lynch, even though she still got disqualified. You don't want to really hurt the referee. She's not a referee. So when is she going to be a wrestler?
When is she going to be a wrestler? Because every time Becky Lynch has met, it's the same referee, and they keep going.
I'm just saying she's not now.
Not now.
I'm just saying she's not now.
When. I don't say when this is going.
Maybe she's training. So yeah, that whole match is kind of like, And then for the tangent, my co-host alluded to it earlier, but I'm gonna break it down a little bit more. Why do you have men's Intercontinental, women's intercontinental, men's tag, women's tag, and then the 6-woman match. That's your card. You're doing that a week before you have another PLE, so it doesn't get to sit by itself. It doesn't get to be the main focus, right? Because you don't even have time to talk about it. I mean, we all know Raw's already happened yesterday. You turn the page so freaking fast that it doesn't even really matter. Penta's already had another match for his championship. You know, Becky's going to end up with another match with Soul Worker for that championship, right? And then we've already pushed past this to other stuff. And my thing is kind of like, that's terrible. And then the 5-match crap, that's terrible. So a lot of things that I feel like could be better about this, but I did like the Vision Street Profits match a whole lot. I don't think Brie Bell and Paige should have headlined over Vision Street Profits, but you know what. Saturday night's main event was what I expected it to be, though, because they were already worried about Clash in Italy more so than they were this event. It shows.
For the first time, maybe not the first time. Maybe you remember if I ever did this before on Monarchs of Wrestling or not. But Cool McCain, give me the camera. Now, WWE, when y'all bought back Saturday night's main event, y'all said it's going to be only 4 shows after the year, which means it should feel special. Meaning it should be during a time where you might not be having big shows right around the corner. But for some odd reason, you decided to have Saturday's night main event this past Saturday. And now we got to focus on Cash in Italy this Sunday. Saturday night's main event don't even feel special. It just feels like y'all just throw this out there just to throw it out there. They want the purpose of y'all bringing it back. When was the last time Saturday night's main event was actually really, really, really special? Something that was like, we can remember this forever. And don't bring up John Cena retirement, Max, because that's y'all could have put that anywhere. And that would be remembered because it's John Cena's final match. I thought Saturday night's main event was supposed to be special. You're only doing it 4 times a year. But it's hard to be special when all of a sudden you got another show next weekend. So what are you doing with Saturday night's main event? What are you really doing with it? Because to me, Saturday's main event is just a quick way of having Raw and SmackDown come together. That's it. Nothing more else to it. Y'all gotta do better when it comes to Saturday's main event. Because the Saturday's main event doesn't feel like a main event type of show. When you have another PLE coming right behind it. That's my tangent. You can take the camera back. So, anything you want to add?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about I had to mute my bad. I like to say, if you're not going to have championship matches, you at least need to have a number one contender match. Something with some meaning, some importance to main storylines. Like, honestly, there was only one match that really connects to any main storyline, and that was the Vision and Street Profits match. You got to learn to connect things together. You're going to do 4 Saturday night main events a year. You should be doing them in spots where you have long breaks between PLEs. You shouldn't be doing them the week before a PLE. But I've already had my rant on Saturday night's main event. I knew this crap was going to happen. I knew that they were going to piss on Saturday night's main event and make it garbage. You know why? Because that's what they do with everything. So I'm not surprised that Paul and his stable of idiots decided to do what they did. You know I'm not? Because they're being who they really are. And you can't be upset with someone for being who they are, unfortunately.
You know what makes it even worse? Paul, TKO, WWE. You know what makes it worse? Last night's Raw was better than Saturday night's main event.
Last night's Raw was better than anything we've seen since night 2 of WrestleMania.
And how do you know that, Playmaker? Well, number one, you did say Penta had already had his next defense, right? That was against Javon Evans. And that was a banger of a match.
It was a banger.
Penta retained, by the way. And somebody threw a question out there on social media, and I did answer this one. It's like, is this just a beginning of a heel turn for Javon Evans, or just frustration? I'll let you answer because I will get my answer after what I said on Facebook.
I mean, I think it's a learning thing. I don't think you're not going to turn Javon Evans heel because he's too loved and he's the young OG. But it's more like, you know, a little frustrated, a little upset by what's going on, and just trying to slide his thoughts and all that into it.
I say both. It's going to start off with frustration.
See, Playmaker, you like everybody to turn heel. You do. And what you have to understand is they're not going to do that with it. He's making them money. The kids love his T-shirt. They love We Outside. He's jumping around, little skinny dude with dreads, all this energy and stuff. He is not about to go heel, sir. He is not about to go heel. But he has some frustration from losing because he knows that he had a good opportunity. This is the learning curve when you bring somebody up who should be up. Javon Evans is amazing. He should not be on Raw or SmackDown. He should be in NXT competing for the NXT championship. He is not ready to be a big-time champion yet. He doesn't even have experience holding any type of championship. But you got him on the main roster.
You took the thought right out of my head, even though I was going to word it differently.
That's the real problem.
That man has never won a championship yet.
That's the real problem. Why is he on the main roster with no championship win? Why? Because he's a skinny little guy, skinny little black guy. Everybody loves. He jumps over the ropes. He does the monkey flips and stuff. That's why.
Because he's
You're doing him a disservice for his long-term career by having him come up too early.
He's
Trick and Obi were ready. He really wasn't. I'm gonna put it out there, and that's nothing against him. But the man is young and he hadn't had a chance to learn the stuff yet.
Oh man.
So before we go any further, love to go through these comments right quick, and then we have to talk about the opening of Raw. Raw this week was really good.
I say it was better than Saturday's main event, and that should not be the case.
WrestleMania night 2. I'm gonna go and say it. Anything since night 2, well, except for Double or Nothing, AEW, Double or Nothing. But besides that, it's been better everything since night 2 of WrestleMania on any program. All right, Damien says, yeah, that sounds like some crap WWE would do to Corbin. Yeah, it does. I wouldn't come back for it. He middle fingers the Rams commercial.
No, he middle fingers me. That's what he's doing.
He says middle fingers the Rams.
You'll be all right.
He said middle fingers the Rams. Yolanda's in the building. Right. Yeah, Yolanda's in the building. She says, I guess I missed the first half since I'm seeing commercials. Yeah. Yolanda says, what I missed, you just missed, like Damien said, TNA and AEW. Just go back later and watch it. Just go back later and watch it. Actually pretty good, I think. Then Yolanda says, thanks, Damien, for telling them. And then he's asking, what do you mean good when we're talking about the show? And
of course.
Then he says, thank you, wrestling guys, for taking out Logan Paul.
By the way, hold on, go back to that comment. Joe Hendry, you are a very despicable man, sir. You are a very despicable man, Joe Hendry. Very diabolical by you on Raw last night. Very diabolical by you.
Well, Joe Hendry got what he deserved for that.
Oh, I will be talking about that shortly.
Kevin Abreu, Nixon 4.
Like over who?
They did win for. He says, I wish AEW pay-per-view start early, like 5 or 6 p.m., not ending midnight. Bro, here's the thing, Kevin. I say this all the time. If it started at 6, it might not be over till 1. Because they go until midnight, bro. I don't care.
That thing,
bro. They go to midnight.
Bro, Kevin, AEW going to have to start their show at 2.
They need to start their show at noon. If you want to be over before midnight, bro. The AEW be wilding. Now, I give them credit. They will give a lot of people a chance on the pay-per-views, but sometimes it'd be even too much. That's what I'm saying. It'd be a happy medium between AEW and WWE. WWE don't give you enough.
AEW give you too much.
AEW give you too much. It's good, but it's just too much. Yolanda says they got pancakes, laugh out loud. Okay, Yolanda, I know what you're talking about when I was talking about the cupcakes. I said mini cupcakes, but yeah, if we're being honest, Yolanda, it's more like pancakes. I was just trying to give them a little love. And that, of course, would be Charlotte and Meechin. I was trying to, Damien says, you're welcome. Let me get back. I ain't trying to freeze on me here. And then Kevin says a lot of people call Soul Ruka botch Ruka. She botched one the other week, but she didn't botch that one. She knew what she was doing. Kevin says, what's going on with Liv Morgan title reign? Well, she can't defend her title on a show that's so unimportant like Saturday Night's Main Event.
There's a lot of thoughts on there that I'm going to have to save for another time.
Yeah, it just, we'll pop them up, but we ain't really got to answer them. Damien says Becky Lynch is less of a wrestler than Lacey Evans. Hey, that's an opinion-based thing. I'm not going to argue with nobody's opinion.
Hey, Sport. She's the greatest woman wrestler of all time. Sports Eagle says it. Bleach Report says
it. She's not the only one that says it. Yeah, don't forget that part. But Kevin says Saturday night's main event, that was a house show. You know what, Kevin? That might be the best description I've heard for Saturday night's main event.
A live television house show.
It really was pretty much a house show. Yolanda says Downhouse cursed division.
And there's no way you can disprove that, even though she's joking. You can't even disprove that because Braun Breaker got hurt, Bronson Reed got hurt, now Logan Paul hurt. And when Steph was with the group, he got hurt.
Damien says Saturday night main event equals NBA All-Stars. Wow, that's tough. It might be true too. Damien says
you know what? No, this past All-Star game was,
I feel like you like this past All-Star game way more than I did. I'm more inclined to agree with Damien 100% on that. You may have a different feeling, but I think that this wasn't any better than the other ones, personally speaking. Oh,
like you said earlier, I'm not going to argue with the man's opinion. No, he definitely cursed the Cavs.
Yeah. I know. What in the world? I done something on the press some over here, y'all. Oh. Okay, here we go. I think we're good.
I say, don't tell me Dan House ain't gonna curse you too.
He didn't curse the show.
No.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I think I just scrolled up too much. Okay. Oh, I know what I did. There we go.
Dan Houser, what did we do to you?
We good now. I hit a button by accident. I didn't notice I hit it. All right, so Yolanda says, laugh out loud, yep, them too. And your sister, but Mira be there. Javon Evans can't turn heel, bro. Come on now. If you Yolanda, I'm gonna tell you about your brother. If you get mad and you do anything, you say something, you walk wrong, you hold your head, you frown, you about to turn heel. Now I feel like that's how Playmaker be.
No, that's the only time they actually make superstars and they turn heel.
He's not turning heel. And they're not about to make no 20-year-old, 21-year-old no superstar. They need to be teaching him how to wrestle better. Not that he's bad, but you know, he needs to still be in NXT. Kevin says, watching the man on Raw, I thought Roman and Jacob were going to kiss.
That was a pretty short segment.
They ain't have a lot of time though. Damien said WWE should put Javon with the New Day instead of Waller. I felt like they might have been trying to go that way, but I didn't want to with them either. Yolanda says he should have been champion in NXT before they brought him to Raw.
Did you hear about that whole situation, Yolanda?
Damien says the Rams cheated. Oh, Damien.
Like I said, he'll be all right.
Yeah, Damien will be wild.
Hey, you don't got to see us this year, so you should be happy.
Y'all beat him in the playoffs, and he'll be mad still. So yeah, just wanted to kind of get through. We had a lot of comments, so appreciate all the people dropping comments. You know what I mean? I love the interaction. So let's get back to it, sir. And we got plenty of time. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Oh boy. So where we left off at? Oh, Penta and Javon Evans putting on the banker.
Yep.
You would think that would be the end of the greatness of Raw. Not so fast, because we end up getting Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. And that was a banger.
It was. It really was.
2 bangers on Raw. Who saw that coming? You're not supposed to get 2 bangers on a weekly show.
Seth Rollins and Montez Ford had a 5-star match. I'm going to go and throw it out there.
And then Austin Theory, who turned viciously and violent earlier in the show with Joe Hendry, continued his rampage with Angelo Dawkins.
So, just to kind of explain the whole thing, found out that, and we're bouncing around. We still got to go back to the beginning of the show, because the tone for this show was set from the jump. When we heard, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, I already knew what it was. I knew it was about Brock. It was. Talk to Smack, they showed a little clip. Then he said his name, and he did a Joe Hendry. Then lights went off. Yolanda. So I read about this. So she was saying they need to let him be a singles competitor. Of course, she's talking about Montez Ford. So Montez Ford refuses to be a singles wrestler. They've tried to get him to do it multiple times because Doc is his boy, and he knows that when you do that, one person succeeds and one person kind of gets pushed to the side and ends up getting let go. So he don't want that to happen to Dawkins. That's why he's not a singles wrestler. What I think they should start doing with him, she says, sorry, Dawkins. And she says, I just love Oba. I know people ain't watched wrestling in years and be talking about Oba Femi. So a lot of people love Oba. But yeah, he doesn't want Doc to be that dude that's the other half of the tag team. What they need to do, in my opinion, after thinking about it, is kind of what they do in certain promotions where they'll have one guy can win individual championships and they still stay a tag team. I think that would be the better option. So he can do single stuff, but still be part of the tag team. And they might be getting ready to do an injury angle with Dawkins. It might allow him to be a singles wrestler for a while. But you know, both of them wives pregnant.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
They gave their time off, and it looked like they did it around the same time because both of them bellies the same size. But I think that would be the better way. And to try to stay on track, because we got time, so we really worry about staying on track too much. But Obafemi came out and basically was like, "I'm gonna beat him again. I'm gonna retire him twice." Signed the contract, gave it to Paul Heyman, told him, "Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna hurt you. I want to make sure you get the contract back to him and you send the messages." And then he left.
Well, he left a very uncomfortable message.
Go ahead and tell him an uncomfortable message, sir.
He said he's going to kill Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he basically, since we're going all into it, he said, last time my goal was to beat Brock Lesnar. This time my goal is to kill Brock Lesnar.
And you just felt the air come out of the building.
You felt the air come out of Paul Heyman.
Very strong words from the ruler there. Very strong words.
That was perfect.
Never heard somebody talk like that in a long time. Yeah, that kicked off the show, and then I can't say transformation. What's the word?
No, you can say transformation.
That Austin Theory went through.
You call it metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis of Austin Theory on last night, sir. Because he beat the brakes off Joe Hendry.
So Joe Hendry comes out. He's sitting out there when we come back from break. And he's doing
diabolical, man. He's just diabolical.
Can we fire Logan Paul? Has the crowd doing it. They're doing it together. And all that good stuff. So Austin Theory makes his way out to the room. Out to the ring with a cheer. And I'm going to say this. I don't care how you feel about Austin Theory. He put the smack him down upon Joe Henry's candy ass with that cheer. Now, we did Angelo, he got him with some good solid shots. But Joe Hendry got beat for about 5 minutes. He really, if Joe Hendry was taking a break because, he just need a break, or his mom's sick, or a family member, or girlfriend, or whatever, he could be written off for a month or two after the beatdown that he took. And he could be back next week, but you could write him off for a minute if you wanted to, because Austin Theory is evolving into the pressure for real, because he was putting a lot of pressure on Joe Henry back with that cheer.
But Joe Henry,
if you did not see that particular segment, if you did not see that, you need to go back and watch it. Then Joe Hendry finally climbed or crawled over to the corner. He was walking away. He ran back down and slammed his head into the post with a chair. A chair head to post shot. That's when they was like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" And then, of course, after Dawkins, he was told in the back to go home. But before all that happened, he walked in with his championship and said, "What would I do? Just give it to you, Paul?" And Paul said, "No, I make sure all the stuff says division. You and Braun Breaker are now tag team champs." So I just want to let everybody know, don't expect to get the Raw tag team champions anytime soon. Make sure you go challenge Damian Priest and R-Truth, because if you're going to make Braun Breaker half of the tag team champions, it's just going to get real. We have a question from Miss Yolanda. She says, "What do you think they're going to do this time around with Brock and Oba?" I'll let you have this one, sir. What do you think?
I don't know. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip right now.
Brock gonna win.
I'm leaning that way.
Brock gonna win, but Oba's gonna have a good showing. But Brock's gonna win.
I'm leaning that way because
he's really retiring.
Because I'm thinking they want to do a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Because Brock is not going to lose 3 matches in a row or 2 matches in a row to nobody.
White, black, purple, gold don't matter.
Yeah, you don't have that.
And then, oh yeah, one more comment, sir.
She was saying he hit him in the face too. That I guess it's kind of, she probably was typing that when I was talking about the face to pole. But yeah, he did. He put in some work on them.
It's all right. Before I move on to what's going to happen Sunday, I got one more question for you, sir. Not about the tribal combat. That was a very short segment, but sticking within the bloodline, Jimmy Uso and LA Knight back and forth.
I liked it. We got to reestablish LA Knight as somebody who's going to be operating at the top of the card. And to do that, going, hey, y'all start that bloodline issue again. I'm coming for y'all. I'm putting the vision behind me, but I will be coming for y'all if y'all start. Don't start no. It made me feel like it made me feel like LA Knight was a young blood. And he was basically out there saying, don't start no, won't be no. That's what I felt like. So it was a good use of LA Knight in a non-wrestling capacity.
And LA Knight threw his name in the King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, and then he announced it was, and that was a good jumping off point. Him announcing that he's going to be in the King of the Ring. So we'll get some more announcements in the next couple of weeks. I plead and beg with the WWE. I do this every year. Please make this its own.
Oh, he froze.
Please, please, please make this its own pay-per-view. We need to start from the beginning. 8 man, 8 woman, King and Queen of the Ring tournament. They rotate matches, man match, woman match, man match, woman match, or woman match, man match, whatever. Till you get to the finals, and then they had the finals. So everybody has the same amount that they have to fight to get to the finals. And then if you want to put a couple of championship matches on with it, cool. But please give us an actual PLE with this on it instead of doing the preliminaries and the semifinals on Raw and SmackDown. No, make it one PLE for men and women. That's what we need. That's what we desire. That's what made King of the Ring great. And if you're not going to make it great, we're not going to give a fudge about it, sir. So get right, Paul.
They ain't gonna do that because they're going to hold the finals at Night of Champions. Which is interesting, by the way, that you hold it like somewhere like that, event like that.
What should happen tonight? A championship be whoever wins. That should be when they have their title matches in Night of Champions. The winner of King and Queen of the Ring. That should be what that's for. But of course, it's not going to be.
No, it's going to be the exact thing my sister put in the chat.
The last 2 matches at SummerSlam. But see, here's the problem. We've gotten so far away from what made wrestling awesome. Right? Like we talk about how the great days was, the Attitude Era. Some of that was because we had things that made sense. Stone Cold Steve Austin became a star because of King of the Ring. If they did it like they did it now, he never would have been a star. So that's the thing. You got to do this where it makes sense. And they don't do that. What do? Oh, we're just going to have all the matches up until the finals. It's It's going to be on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. Just one match a day. And, it takes away all the things that made it great. When you take something that was really good or great and you strip it down to garbage, and then you're surprised why people don't care. No one cares about who wins the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring anymore. And that's your fault.
And that takes us to Clash in Italy. 2 p.m. Sunday. Not bad. It's a Sunday. 2 p.m. is not bad, to be honest. Problem is, how many matches you got, sir?
Probably 5. Let me look it up.
5 matches. You have 5 matches.
I know it's 5 matches. And you had to look to see that.
That was a rhetorical question because I knew I wanted to see your reaction. All right. So with these 5 matches, oh yeah, by the way, the first hour is on ESPN. Go figure. And if I was listening to my girl correctly,
apparently everything's live on ESPN. The first hour.
When I say ESPN, I mean the actual mainstream channel ESPN. And if I heard my girl correctly, who was on First Take earlier today, WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill will probably be on that first hour. We picking Rhea, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. We love you, Jay. We do. But we know how the machine operates. And the machine loves money.
And they want that payoff with her and Charlotte.
Why don't you just do a triple threat at SummerSlam? Her, Charlotte, and Jade. As much as y'all been teasing Jade and Charlotte ever since Jade came to WWE, and we still haven't seen that feud yet. We've seen Rhea and Charlotte already.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
But knowing WWE, you're going to have one main championship.
I don't like 5 matches.
I know you don't. A man's match got to be on that first hour.
Matches is you need more. Yeah, they said it was going to be, I think, Brock Lesnar over Femi. So you can have 2 matches the first hour. You have 3 matches for the other 2 hours. How smart is that? It's not smart at all. It's actually very stupid. You need to have 3 more matches on this card. Because the problem with watching the pay-per-views, and I go through this all the time, I start doing other stuff when I'm watching, is the matches are too freaking long. Why do I want to sit here and watch them do every move and their moveset 3 times and 7 false finishes? Right? The matches, in my opinion, are even longer than AEW matches. And that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We need more matches. We need to start determining number 1 contenders somehow for championships. You got what? Women got 6 championships, including tag team championships now. They need number 1 contenders. The men got the 2 world heavyweight, the 2 secondary, 2 sets of tag team championships. We'll have number 1 contenders. Guys just, hey, I want a match. Okay, yeah. Or you just have a random match like you did with Rey Mysterio and not with Rey Mysterio and Rusev. We start having stuff like that, and that's not necessary. That's what pisses me and a lot of people off. Because we're tired of that. Give us some good matches. Give us more people. No one wants to sit here and see, because what happens is you get the same things every pay-per-view. Roman Reigns is on every pay-per-view when he's there. Cody's on every PLE. Some combination of Rhea or Liv Morgan's going to be on everyone as long as they're champions. Oba's going to be on everything because they love him and they're buying his merchandise. The only rematch we get from Saturday night's main event, or the only champion that was on Saturday night's main event that's going to be defending on Clash in Italy is Becky Lynch. The person that everybody wants to see the least. That's who gets the match. When's the last time the SmackDown Tag Team Championships have been defended on a PLE?
I don't even know who the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are again.
Damian Priest and R-Truth.
That might be the reason why I don't remember.
But guess what? You made them the champ, so why they can't defend them? Like, you're cycling through every championship. The only championship that is not being included in this is the men's tag team championships from SmackDown. Why can't they get on a PLE? That could be the sixth match. You could have a crazy number one contenders match for Liv Morgan's championship. Since he doesn't have a challenger, she's not even on the pay-per-view.
Like I said,
I guess it's creative.
There's a lot to unfold in that one. That's for another time. That's why I'm keeping my peace on that one. All right.
I ain't going too much into it. I'm just putting a start.
So you picking Brock to win round 2 to set up round 3?
Yep. I'm picking Brock to win round 2, even if there is no round 3. Because they ain't gonna let Brock go out with 2 L's. I'm picking Sol Ruka to beat Becky Lynch too. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I don't know if I'm there.
Make sure I ain't cut out.
I don't know if I'm there with Sol Ruka just yet.
She got to win.
Her first win on the main roster is for a title.
Well, technically, her first run on the main roster was at Saturday night's main event disqualification.
Yeah, going to be.
But she's got to actually pin somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't.
She got to pin somebody. You can't go 5-10 matches and not pin nobody. She got to pin somebody.
That's why I had a problem with her debut. Like her
Becky
debut,
about to get her
throw
soul
her.
snapped.
I say, y'all, her first debut, y'all gonna throw her right to the newly crowned women's champion.
Well, I mean, that wasn't a title match, so she could have won that match. If it wasn't, she probably would have won if it wasn't for Zarya.
That would make it even worse, in my opinion. Like, you already know she got a match with Zarya. Why are you throwing the match on her debut on Raw?
I mean, it was not a good idea. But I'm just saying it wasn't a good idea. I'm not arguing that. It definitely wasn't a good idea.
And then her second match, you want to throw against Io Scott. Like, what are y'all doing?
They didn't give a Smurf. That's what they were doing. Not giving the Smurf. You know what I mean when I say Smurf.
Yeah, I know. Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship.
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
Just
Gunther's not the one.
Yeah. See, this is what happened. This is why my co-host didn't like the fact that y'all gave him the retirement tour matches to make him the career killer. Because guess what? Gunther ain't killing the career of Brock Lesnar. That would be overfitting. So y'all had to pivot, and y'all pivot to him going against Cody Rhodes out of nowhere. And just like he said,
well, he was supposed to be in a thing with LA Knight, apparently.
And just like he said about
that was the original plan.
Out of nowhere with this Rey Mysterio versus Rusev for the number one contender spot for the Intercontinental Championship match. Y'all probably did the same thing because y'all just threw word keys in there.
Don't get me started on that. Did that brother wrong.
I don't care who wins that match. Either way, it's not going to come out either happy for neither one of us. But most likely,
It's
Cody
gonna be
Rhodes.
Cody.
We got to get to SummerSlam. And then the Royal Heavyweight Championship match: Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, and Tribal Combat. The winner becomes not only world champion, but Tribal Chief. The loser must serve the Tribal Chief. Is WWE crazy enough? Is they crazy enough to pull the trigger?
That's the question, sir. That's the $10 billion quadrillion question. Because they've set it up to do it. But do they have the fortitude?
The unmitigated gall.
Because it would take quite a bit of fortitude to do this. Yes. You would have to have smelling stones to pull this off.
You want to
Do they
shock
have
the world? you want to have the WWE universe look stupid and crazy? You pull the trigger. But if you want to play it safe like you've been doing, and this is what me and my co-host is actually thinking what y'all gonna do, we know who's winning this match. Because let's face it, we know after SummerSlam we ain't seeing Roman Reigns after this. Well, we ain't not gonna see him in the month of June anyway, so that's a TKO thing, not a Roman thing. That's a TKO thing.
Yeah.
But we know after SummerSlam we ain't seeing Roman Reigns, so guess what? We kind of know where this is going.
I think Roman is going to win this match. It's tribal combat, so everything goes. I think he's going to win this match. But I think we're going to see Jacob Fatu maybe take the championship, not tribal chief, but the championship from Roman. Because if Jacob Fatu wins and becomes the head of the table, whoo, things gonna get real crazy, insane, psychotic even. That's my thought.
Clash. So that's Clash in Italy, or we can just rename it what my sister put in the chat because that's pretty much what all the whole matches are, except for Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Basically.
Yep. The rematches in Italy. But we don't get rematches for everybody, right? Because most people don't even get to be on this one. Because we got to have 30-minute matches. 30-plus minute matches.
No, correction, sir. We get to have 20-minute matches, and the rest of them be commercials.
That's going to be the first hour. But keep in mind, you've only got 3 matches for 2 more hours. So the match has got to be at least 30 minutes.
No matches are going to be 20 minutes, and it's going to be filled with commercials.
No, they're going to be 30 minutes. They're going to be 30 minutes, and then the other 30 minutes are going to be commercials. It's going to be an hour and a half of wrestling, an hour and a half of commercials. 30 minutes each. Watch. Because you should have 2 or 3 more matches, and you still can have the commercials. But if you actually were having different matches between the commercial breaks, it would look better. Hey, who am I? You're somebody with common sense. The nerve of me.
The blasphemy of you.
Paul, you need a pimp slap. That's what you need, a pimp slap right across your face. And you would deserve it. But you know what? I can't give it to you. If I could, I would pimp slap you, but I can't.
Oh man, let's go. I'm done.
So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in next week, because depending upon how Clash in Italy goes,
And Raw in Italy.
I might have some words. I'm feeling like I might have some words next week. This week, disappointed, but expected a disappointment. Next week, how did Booker T say? We coming for you. All of y'all. So, there's that. AEW, shout out to y'all. Y'all are improving your product. You're still the spot monkeys and the super kicks and all that, but you're adding storyline into it. And that's all you were really missing, was the storyline to tie it together. You're working on that. WWE, you don't care about storyline anymore. You just rehash things that you feel like are going to work. You're just going to end up with Bloodline 3.0 with Jacob Fatu as the enforcer, the unwilling enforcer. Feels like that's where it's going. So, whatever. And the rest of you vagabonds in the professional wrestling industry, including UTNA, you're not doing bad, but you're doing better storylines than WWE because you're doing original stuff. But it's a great time for other companies to really put their best foot forward, because between now and SummerSlam is a good time to lessen the gap between yourselves and WWE. And with that, I'm excited about overall where we're going with pro wrestling. But WWE is disappointing right now, but that's not a surprise. They were probably going to always be disappointing. Not probably, they were always going to be disappointing. But for your boy Cool McCain, your boy the Playmaker, always remember, it is never where you start. It is always where you finish. And we will be back. Another episode, Monarchs of Wrestling, next week on Monday as usual. But you know, we'll be talking Raw, because Raw is at like 2 p.m., 11 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. You know, there's this thing called tape delay they used to do back in the day, so we still get stuff at the same time. But too many people leak stuff now, so you can't really do that anymore. Well, holla.